Good morning, and welcome to Lowcountry Charity Spotlight, presented by Merchant Cooperative. This morning, Christian Maurer is spotlighting one Lowcountry charity that is helping make our local community a better place. Merchant Cooperative, a full-service credit card processing company, is proud to sponsor Lowcountry Charity Spotlight each Saturday morning here on News Radio 94.3 WSC. And now your host, Christian Maurer.
Show is sponsored by the Merchant Cooperative. I'm here with Tom Powers.
How you doing? How's everybody doing out there in the low country?
You look sharp today, Tom. You been out working out or what?
Yeah, I got a little sun, been enjoying this nice weather. It's nice fall, winter weather here in the low country. We've got a very lovely guest here with us today from the Lutheran Services Carolinas Therapeutic Foster Care Division. We got Yolanda Palmer here.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
How are you doing?
I'm great today.
And Yolanda, you head up the division of the foster care system there that handles recruiting and funding. Is that right?
Yes, I handle all of the licensing and recruiting for the agency, especially in the Lowcountry area. We have two others that work in the upstate and in the Midlands.
Well, tell us a little bit first about the Lutheran Services Carolinas.
Okay.
Is that a greater organization and this is part of it, right?
Yes. Lutheran Services Carolinas, actually we run in North and South Carolina.
Okay.
That's why we call it Carolinas. And before 2012, we were also known as Lutheran Family Services. So a lot of people in the area might know us as Lutheran Family Services because they don't realize we changed the name.
Gotcha.
But we changed the name in 2012 because we merged with Lutheran Services of the Aging that works with more seniors.
Cool. And so you're part of the therapeutic foster care program. So tell us about that.
Okay, well, therapeutic foster care is a type of foster care that children that have more higher level of needs, like developmental delays and emotional challenges, they're placed in homes that we have as opposed to being placed in regular foster homes provided by DSS.
Okay.
Let me ask you this. What type of children does your program help? And, I don't know too much about this. Evelyn, who works with us as a foster child.
Yes, Evelyn is one of our foster parents.
And this may sound like a stupid question, but where do the foster children come from? Well, maybe some people don't know.
Yeah, well, foster children come from DSS. These are children that have been abused or neglected or maybe even abandoned in some way. So they're removed from their homes and placed into a foster home.
How does somebody get in touch with you guys for a program like that?
Well, if they want to become foster parents, which is really what I'm geared for here today, I'm looking for new foster parents in the area. So if they would be interested in that, then they would call me directly.
That's a big need, I would imagine, is quality foster parents.
Oh, definitely.
Is there a waiting list?
No, there's not a waiting
for
list.
kids.
For kids.
How many children are in need?
Well, our agency alone, we place about 500 children a year just across North and South Carolina.
God bless you guys.
Yes, because there's
That's
over
amazing.
3,000 children in foster care in South Carolina alone.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did they get in touch with you?
Well, you can call me directly. My phone number is 843-437-5781. And if they want to just look into more information about our program, you can go to our website, which is www.lscarolinas.net.
Awesome. And we'll have that link on our website as well for everybody.
Okay, therapeutic foster parent licensing. Okay, what does the licensing come in on this? Do you have to have, let's say I wanted to be a foster parent. What do I have to, when you say licensing, or is there training involved?
Yes. Licensing, that's the process you go through before you become a licensed foster parent.
Okay.
So to be therapeutic foster care, you have to do 32 hours of training. And there's also a screening process that we go through to get you through that.
Well, we're going to take a break and come back and talk about the training that's involved with everybody. You're listening to 94.3 News Radio WSC, Charleston's first and only FM News Talk Radio. You're listening to Lowcountry Charity Spotlight, presented by the Merchant Cooperative. Hey, welcome back. Saturday morning. Let's help some kids today. I'm here with Yolanda Palmer and Tom Powers. And we were talking about, you needed some type of training.
For the foster care.
For the
to be
foster care.
parent.
Right.
To be the foster parents, right? Can you be a single foster parent?
You can. We have a lot of single parents. We have some two-parent households. The family dynamics are all over the map. We have some retired older foster parents, and we have some younger foster parents that work full-time jobs.
Expound on what type of training and how they get involved.
Well, with therapeutic foster care, you have to have 32 hours of training, which is different from regular foster care because you only have to have 25.
What's the difference?
Just the amount of hours that you have.
Well, no, between regular, you know what I'm saying, Tom?
The therapeutic is special needs kids, right?
Right. The therapeutic is special needs kids. These are kids that have developed emotional or behavioral problems.
Okay.
Often because of the abuse or neglect that they have been in. Mm-hmm. Many of them have developmental delays and are receiving professional counseling, or some of them even have medical needs.
How long do these foster parents typically have a child?
Well, that ranges. Typically, you could have a child for 2 weeks up to years.
Wow.
We say that the average is about 6 to 12 months.
Okay.
But we like to remind the foster parents that foster care is meant to be temporary because the parents of these children are given the chance to get the kids back. They work treatment plans through DSS. And
they're trying to get their life together.
Yes. So we, as the foster parents, are helping to take care of the children while their parents are getting their lives together.
So you guys are working like hand in hand with DSS as an alternative placement?
Yes, we work very closely with DSS.
Gotcha.
They call us when they have these kids needed placements, and we work to get the kids into all the programs that they need and
I gotcha.
offer a lot of support.
Do you guys provide this training that you're talking about, this 32 hours? Or?
Yes. I do a lot of the training directly for the people that I'm licensing. Mm-hmm. We have several different types of trainings that we do, and these trainings are mainly focused on teaching the parents parenting skills for these kids, since they are a lot different from regular kids that you see that haven't been removed from their parents.
Gotcha.
Right. And then they also have to do some outside training, such as CPR and first aid training they have to have. And I send them to Heartfelt Calling, which is done through DSS. That's 14 hours right there, where they're getting kind of like an introduction.
Where do you get your money
care.
to run these programs?
Well, we get donations mainly from the churches. The Lutheran Church does give us a lot, and
so I don't have to. Let's say I'm Catholic. I can still get involved, right? Because a lot of people might think, well, it's odd for me to say that, but
Oh, definitely, we get that a lot. Since our name is Lutheran Services Carolinas, people tend to think that you have to be Lutheran, but that's not the case at all. You don't have to be Lutheran. You don't have to have a certain religious affiliation at all. We just
You're
are looking
for good people.
Yes, we're looking for loving people that have it in their heart to care for children that are not their own.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I look at it as a calling.
I can totally understand. I know what you mean with the calling side of it. My mother does a lot of hospice type of work, and
Oh yeah,
and she just feels that calling, and
I love your mom. She's awesome.
So that is what you would say is the number one thing that you're looking for. And again, we're talking with Yolanda Palmer here with the Lutheran Services Carolinas Therapeutic Foster Care Division. You're here today putting the message out to the Lowcountry that you guys could really use some more quality foster parents.
Yes, we need foster parents all over the state, especially in the Lowcountry. I can refer to our Midlands and Upstate if you live in that area, but if you're in the Lowcountry, I will work with them directly.
I would imagine that somebody that might be interested in maybe doing that, but has never done anything like that before,
right?
You must have dealt with some people that were kind of wanted to do it, but they're nervous. What's
definitely.
That process like?
Well, I'm hoping that there's somebody out there listening this morning that has been thinking about it for a while, and they just need that extra push.
Sure.
So this might be the extra push that they need.
So married couples, even if they have children,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
That's probably a plus, I would imagine, to bring them into a existing existing household.
Yes. We have married couples with children. We have people that their children are grown, so they have extra space in their bedroom. As long as you have a spare bedroom in your house for a child, then well, if you meet the other qualifications as well. But with therapeutic foster care, the children do have to have their own bedroom.
Sure.
So that is one of the qualifications.
How old are these children?
Well, therapeutic foster care children tend to be about 10 to 21. We do get some younger children, and our medically fragile program is 0 to 21. So it's all across the field.
So you deal with kids up to 21 years old?
21 years old.
Oh,
yes.
wow.
Yes.
I thought there was 18.
Well, once the children turn 18, they have an option as to whether or not they want to remain in foster care or if they want to age out and go off on their own.
I got you. So, I mean, you're not taking a 20-year-old person into the program.
No, yeah. These kids, usually they've already been in for a while if they're that old.
I got you.
Yeah.
Is there any financial help for the foster parent? Okay, that they absorb that themselves financially.
Oh, no, that's actually a good question. Foster parents are reimbursed, and they are provided money because we understand that, we need to offset the cost of adding an extra person into your household.
Does that come from the state, that money?
Yes.
Or and donations?
No,
and
that comes from the state.
So the reimbursements through the state.
Yes, but let me explain how that works. So we break the children down into levels. There's level 1, 2, and 3, and then medically fragile. So level 1 children, the foster parents make $30.03 a day. Level 2, they make $43.47 a day. And level 3, they make $58.73 per day. And with medically fragile, it's a little bit higher, but it really depends on the level of care that the child needs and their medical problems. So basically, it probably ranges from anywhere from about $900 to $1,500 a month.
To help somebody out.
To help a child out.
Come on.
So if somebody's thinking about, I've ever thought about being a foster parent and I just can't afford it. That's really not the issue.
The issue.
It's
The money
more
that
about
you
affording
get,
the time and the love.
Yeah. Now the money that you get, a lot of that definitely goes to the child. We ask that you put the child in special programs, and some of the kids might need daycare, after school programs, stuff like that. Helping with groceries. All of it goes towards the kids, but it's definitely needed and appreciated by the foster parents.
What do you think? Does some of these turn into adoption type situations too with this, or is it mainly more of a temporary thing for the child being put back with their parents?
Yeah, like when does the child go back, Tom? Is that what you mean, or how's that determined?
Well, at first, it's important for foster parents to know that they are not required to adopt children. That is one of the questions that we'll ask during the licensing process, if they're open to adoption, because you definitely can adopt. Now, how it works, as I mentioned before, these children, the first plan is for them to be placed back with their parents. Now, unfortunately, some of the children never get to go back with their parents because
What percentage?
Oh, I don't know. If I wouldn't put a percentage on it. Maybe 30, 40.
So end up going back after they. Now, what kind of treatment does the parents get? They're in treatment, or
the parents are in treatment. It really just depends on what their issues were that caused the children to come into care in the first place.
What do you see a lot of?
Some have drug issues, so they have to go into drug programs.
Or they might even be in prison or something.
Yeah, they could be in prison. They usually would count that as abandonment. I've seen that before. One parent was deceased, one was in prison, so nobody could care for the kid. They didn't have any family, so the child ended up in foster care.
Right.
But as far as adoption goes, how that works, if the child does become capable for or eligible for adoption, meaning that their parents' rights have been terminated, then
that's decisions made by
DSS, and then of course they have to go into court, and there has to be a ruling that the parents' rights are terminated. There's a trial, a whole big hoopla.
But you would help people with that. And you've been through that before, I would imagine.
Well,
at least advising them on the process.
Yeah, well, Well, I personally used to work with DSS, and some of our other workers have as well. So we know the system really well. We know how it works.
Worked over there.
Yeah, most foster parents are even invited to the court hearings if they want to go.
Gotcha.
But basically, if the child is eligible for adoption, then the foster parent is given that option to adopt them if they want to.
Do you have a particular story or child or foster parent or anybody that sticks out in your mind?
A happy story.
A happy, heartwarming situation that you could share with us?
Sure. Well, I am proud to say that we have a lot of successful stories, especially with our foster parents, because our foster parents that we get, they are amazing.
Love it.
With our children. One particular story that I can think of is when I first came with the agency, the very first person that I licensed was a woman out of McClellanville, and she has a huge home. And I think she had a five-bedroom home. She's retired. Just a huge heart. So she takes in children. She's always calling us, asking us if we have more children, because she's just, she's just really, really willing to work with the kids. Yeah.
And probably helped a lot of kids out, showing them just a different,
Right.
I imagine the foster care situation, if a child's in turmoil like that, it's almost like an oasis of just calm, normal life that could make a big difference. When somebody's young,
stability.
Yeah, that's of course you're very impressionable.
Yeah.
So a lot of the foster kids, after they get older, if they were in a home and somebody made a big impact in their life, they'll come back. They'll come back for Christmas and holidays, and it'll just be like family to them. They'll come back and thank them.
Well, let's talk about that on more. You're definitely looking for foster parents, but you're looking for help in other ways too. You guys have some Christmas dinner programs coming up that food donations are very welcome, and cash donations, of course, too, I would imagine.
Well, we do have a Christmas parties that we have every year for our foster parents and the children. Now, these are not public events. These are private events.
Sure.
But we have churches that donate gifts to the children. Down in this area, we have a church, St. Luke Lutheran Church in Somerville, and they actually provide us with the space. We have the party at their church.
You guys are a nonprofit.
Yes, we are a nonprofit. Sure. So we have them that they donate gifts, and they actually, the women at the church do all the food and everything. All we have to do is show up.
Well, what if somebody wanted to help out with just that in the smallest sense? Could they just give $5 to that church? Or what would be a good way for somebody that maybe couldn't be a foster parent but to participate and help out with your cause?
Well, my suggestion to anybody that wanted to help in a monetary type donation would be to go to our website.
Oh, okay.
So our website does have a link on there for people that want to help. So
that's Lutheran Services Carolinas with an S.
With an S.
.org.
.net. No,
.net.
.net. Yeah.
.net. Lutheran Services Carolinas.
It's lscarolinas.net. That's the website.
I'm just going to stop talking. lscarolinas.
Yes.
.net.
Yes.
Okay. Go there. You can donate. To a good cause. Good. There's nothing like a good Christmas party, good big Christmas dinner.
Oh, and the kids love it. They love it.
Maybe you could dress up as Santa Claus. We could get a beard on you.
I've been on a diet lately, but absolutely, can people donate time outside of being a foster parent?
Not personally through our organization. There are a lot of organizations out there where they can, though. So my suggestion to that would just be to go online and research and see where you can.
Just foster care in general.
Yeah, because what the thing is with foster care, these children are technically property of the state.
Right.
So our foster parents have to go through really intense background checks in order to be foster parents. So people that volunteer have to go through some type of check as well.
Right. They don't want to go from the pot to the frying pan.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, we laugh, but, that's pretty serious. So
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Well, we're here today with Yolanda Palmer. She's with Lutheran Services Carolinas with their therapeutic foster care program, looking for some good new foster parents.
People with big hearts, people that love kids, people that want to help you out.
Yes,
I hope
please
we got
help.
some interest today on it. We're going to take a break. You're listening to Lowcountry Charity Spotlight, presented by the Merchant Cooperative. Welcome back, everybody. My name's Christian Maurer. I'm with Tom Powers. We're spotlighting a charity this morning with Yolanda Palmer, and we were talking about famous foster kids, Gary Coleman.
Yeah, Gary Coleman.
Well, it's interesting if they didn't have people step up, and there were so many people that have gone on to do wonderful things in life, if these foster parents that haven't stepped up and didn't give that help,
right,
plus helping the parents, what I'm saying is it's not a dead end. You can become whoever you want to become.
Definitely.
Sure. Well, Yolanda, you're with the Lutheran Services Carolina's Therapeutic Foster Care Program, and you head up recruitment and licensing.
Yes, looking for foster parents.
So what is that process? I would imagine that when you get past mentally like, okay, maybe I want to be a foster parent, then it's really like, well, what the heck is next?
Right.
What comes after that?
Well, to briefly walk you through it, how it would work, if somebody decided today that they wanted to do it and they call me, I have a couple questions that I do just to screen through that to see if they qualify. You have to be 21 years of age. You have to have a driver's license and a stable car because these foster parents are transporting these children to and from appointments all the time. So you have to have a reliable car. You have to have a high school diploma and a GED. You cannot be on public assistance. You do have to have that extra bedroom that I mentioned before. You have to have a spare bedroom for the child. There's a financial part of the screening process that we would go through. So we do look at your finances to make sure that your incoming finances is more than your outgoing. But like I said, we have like some retired people that, of course, they're getting that retirement check, but they're not actually working at the time. So that is a qualification. You have to be able to pass the background checks and the home inspections that we would do as well.
Gotcha.
And the entire process takes about 2 to 3 months.
Okay.
In that 2 to 3 months, there's a lot of paperwork that the foster parents have to fill out. So if they are able to fill it out in a timely manner, then we can get through quickly, because sometimes, when anybody gets a big stack of paper, sometimes you might just sit it down for a second because it's overwhelming.
Is there any health care for the kids?
All foster children are on Medicaid, so foster parents do not have to worry about any medical bills. You just take the kid to the appointment.
Prescriptions, all that.
Prescriptions, everything is covered.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's great.
Right, definitely. Yeah, because these kids, they, like I said, they have all types of issues. So they have medical appointments, dental. You have to make sure you take the kids to the dentist twice a month, twice a year.
So twice a month? Man, that's a good program.
I'd like to go to the dentist twice a month.
Oh, gosh, who would? No.
You screen them a little bit with some questions. Mm-hmm. If that goes through, then you get some paperwork.
Right.
You get a little bit of administrative stuff. Mm-hmm. And I imagine you go into these training classes.
Right. Well, I would come visit them at their house after I send them the initial paperwork, because I have to do a home study. Uh-huh. So I have to check out the house to make sure it's okay. And then we also have the fire marshal go out, and DHEC goes out to do separate inspections as well.
That's pretty thorough
it's pretty
process.
Intense.
Okay, so I'm a foster parent. Do I have any interaction with the original parents?
No. Some of the children, if their parents' rights have not been terminated, then they might have visitation with their parents. So the most a foster parent might have to do would be to transport the child to a visit with their parents.
Okay.
Yeah, and sometimes the kids might even have telephone contact. Sometimes that has to be supervised, so the foster parent might have to put the phone on speaker and listen to make sure nothing inappropriate is said.
Right. And you've dealt with all these, I'm sure, endlessly random scenarios and help people through that.
Yes, definitely. We help them through it. Our agency is known for being very supportive to the foster parents. You are assigned a worker that is on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week if you need them.
Yolanda, awesome. God bless you with this work that you're doing.
Thank you.
Honest to goodness. And all the people and the churches that help you guys out.
Yes.
Me and Tom, if we know anybody, of course, we want you to get your word out.
Thank you.
You're listening to 94.3 WSC. Help a charity. Give Yolanda a call. Really help these kids.
Yeah, it's lsservicescarolinas.org. You can also get that on our website, too.
Yes, and my phone number, again, is 843-437-5781.
Thanks for listening this morning. Give to a charity and volunteer your time. You're listening to Lowcountry Charity Spotlight, presented by the Merchant Cooperative. Have a great Saturday.
Lowcountry Charity Spotlight is presented each week by Merchant Cooperative, a full-service credit card processing company that provides payment processing services to businesses all over the Lowcountry. Please help and support this morning's charity so they can continue their good works. Thank you for listening, and be sure to join us each Saturday morning at 7:30 here at News Radio 94.3 WSC.